Good everyone, welcome to today's video. Today it's a Spade review on the Breguet 693 AB2. Obviously, well, I'm going to call it the Baguette from now on. So, this plane is a Moderate 1.7 Rank 1 attacker, which was added as part of patch 1.93. And, well, a lot of people were excited for this plane, and to be honest, I was. But there's one critical thing that's wrong with it, to put it simply. Now, coming up over the next few weeks, there will be a lot of 1.91 stuff that I've obviously had in the backlog and everything to get rid of. That will be coming out over the next few days and everything. First flights and drives of like premium stuff that I got during the patch or the sales and all that. That will be coming up soon. So you can expect the P39K, the JAPSA, etc. They'll be coming as soon as I can. But obviously, I wanted to get the 1.93 stuff out as soon as possible because obviously people will be wanting to see these things. So the Breguet, or shall I say Baguette 693, is, well, it was an attack aircraft built during the early parts of the war, obviously. It didn't exactly have the best service life. In fact, from what I've been able to find, it barely saw service. But in War Thunder, it has one problem. Now, it's not the durability. This thing's actually quite tough from what I've been able to find out, obviously, in battles and all that. This thing's actually pretty tough. You'll see that in this battle. It's the gun placement. Now, those of you may be thinking, what's wrong with the 7.5s? They're pointed forward like they should. Yeah, that's fine. It's the 20mm. The 20mm is pointed down at about a 5 to 10 degree angle. Now, that sounds handy, but it also affects the 7.5 machine guns. And it is very hard, in my opinion, to get a gun on target or get your guns on target, which you're gonna see me struggling there in this battle. But I mean, they can work. A 20mm with 90 rounds and 7.5s with 1,000 rounds. You've got good armament. This thing has got good armament. But like I say, it's just got that one critical weakness, and I don't think this sort of gun positioning is good for a new player to experience. Obviously, some people in real life may come to this game because of this plane, because of historical bonding. Maybe they're a family member flew it, maybe their great granddad flew this thing, or was the very gunner in the back. But they would still have a personal bond with it. And I find it kind of bad that they would come into a game to experience an aircraft that they obviously have a relation to, and they find out that it's complete bad. Well, to be honest, this thing's not bad. I'm going to say that straight away. It's not bad. It's just not great. And I've noticed that a lot with this update so far, with these lower tier vehicles, like the AMD, obviously I covered earlier. You're obviously getting this as a bonus. But I just find that these two French vehicles are a bit bad. They can work, but they're a bit bad. The Italian BR-20 bomber, that thing's just a BR-20. It gets its job done. It's a bomber. That's how it should be. So, recommended tactics for flying this thing. Well, you'll see what me and DTT do in this battle, because he's going to make another cameo appearance. He's like the new Stan Lee. But you'll see what we do to get this thing spaded. Obviously, we do get into a nice dogfight, which was absolutely amazing. I didn't get a kill out of it till later in the battle. But we discovered that this thing can do well as a high-speed bomber. Now, some of you are probably going to laugh at this point, saying, huh, 800 kilograms of bomb, well, sorry, 400 kilograms of bombs with about 200 grams of explosive mass. You're having a laugh, Joe. I'm not actually. From what me and DTT have been able to find, a Breguet 693 can take out 1.5 bases. Now, obviously, a single one can do pretty decently with its bomb load, obviously depending on the BR. But we was able to mess up bases pretty well with this thing. Obviously, this thing's got good speed. I know Hairy Feet's going to be laughing at this point, but trust me, mate, this thing was actually pretty good at getting out, obviously, unless it was a 1 on an E. Because, yes, you will see 1 on an E's in this thing. But other than that, we really had no problems. We was able to get in, drop our bombs, get out. and it didn't take that long to Spade. So before I do continue, I'm going to go over my stats of this vehicle. Where is she? Sorry, my phone's going off now. Just 1 second. 50% win rate, 4 battles, 1 air kill, which I got in this game, 3 ground targets, which I also got in this game. Now that seems a bit poor, doesn't it, for a plane of, well, for my sort of aircraft? You'd be right, and that's because me and DTT mostly base bombed in this. So obviously, since base bombing doesn't come up on your stats, we did about just under a ton between us. We did about just under a ton each. So even though this thing may seem poor on paper with its gun placement and everything, which you will see in this battle, we got to work pretty well. But anyway, I'm blabbering too much as I usually do, so let's get into it. Now we are joined in this battle by Mr. Fort Sparta HQ. One of my subscribers, one of DTT's subscribers. Obviously DTT will have his own review out on this vehicle in his own time. We had an alright time with it, obviously using it as a base bomber like we did. My first flight in it didn't go particularly well. Obviously we had a couple of morons in like what was it called? The HE100s. And a HE100 will dance around this thing all day long. So the rear gunner in the back actually operates 2 guns. I'll do this whilst we're in the climb. You've obviously got your main turret here, and you have a fixed lower gun here. This gun I never used. But this dorsal gunner does come in handy. So obviously we're back in my perspective. Obviously I'm wingtip to wingtip with DTT, and we're making a decision to go for this base out here, the far right base, because we know we can take it. I think this is the battle where DTT screwed up and missed a bomb, if I remember rightly. I'm sorry, all I can smell is fried chicken through the window right now, because I've got the man cave windows open. So if you do hear a bit of wind noise, I do apologise. But all I can smell right now is what would be described as KFC, so it's getting my nose a bit happy, shall we say, because I love the smell of KFC. Anyway, less about the food, because, well, I'm a bit of a foodie. Me and DTT, obviously, we're coming in. We've got our full bomb loads ready to go. And if I remember rightly, DTT missed 1 bomb, which cost us getting this base. So let's jump to his perspective. Obviously, his bombs are out, so you won't be able to see him on a replay. And he got, I think it was 0.136. But I dropped my bombs, and I got 0.27, or 217. I think DTT missed about 2 or 3 bombs, but to be fair, we're not that fast. Now at this point, Sparta's been bounced by a C200 Series 7, an Italian one. One thing we noticed about this plane is how manoeuvrable it is for its size. It is actually rather manoeuvrable. But the main thing we found with the problem with it is, as you can see on the cursor there, we had problems with its guns, which you're going to see. You're going to see me struggling with the guns because I'm not used to this sort of gun configuration. Obviously, Sparta doesn't actually have Discord. Well, he does, but he doesn't have a mic in. I said, mate, bring him right towards me. And I fire a long burst, but I only scored hits with the 7.5s. DTT completely blows his head off, scoring DTT a kill. Obviously, I make sure the bugger goes down just because, why not? I just felt like putting a few extra rounds in him. Probably shouldn't have done that, to be fair, because the Key 27's coming in. But to be honest, I don't really care. And plus I got an assist out of it, so that's always nice. So at this point, obviously Sparta's being bounced by the Key 27, and DTT's doing the same. Obviously, he's coming for an head-on right now with DTT. This guy knew what he was doing. He straight away dodged out of the way. So obviously I'm struggling to get the guns on target. This is where, if people are going to try and use this thing as a fighter, I don't recommend it. And there we go, more hits. But I am struggling at this point. I am struggling to get guns on target. It's really hard when you're not used to this sort of configuration. Obviously, me and DTT, we're pouring shots into that guy, but we're just not hitting him enough. And unfortunately, Sparta is going to hit the trees. Or he's... no, I think he crashes into the ground in a second due to damage. And yep, there he goes. Sparta's just gone in. So now it's down to me and DTT in a dogfight against a 112 and a Key 27 Otsu. Obviously, I'm telling DTT, I'm coming to help you, mate. I'm trying to get this Key 27 off you. But there you can see, DTT's smoking, but he's still alive. He's taking a shed load of hits, but we're both going to take a shed load of hits in this battle. But we're okay. So at this point, drop the nose down, trying to use the rear gunner to obviously fend off the Key 27. We're making sure we don't actually have any problems, but at this point, hero of the match, Key 81 in his BB1, he's coming to save us. The 112 has gone in, he crashed, obviously we didn't get the kill on it, unfortunately. But obviously at this point the Key 27 banks onto me and I throw the thing as hard as I can. I throw the baguette around. And obviously I'm opening up the 7.5, trying to get this thing to obviously maneuver and everything and get hits on target. The Key 27 obviously is in a 3-on-1 fight here, so he's got to try and even out the numbers here. But me and DTT are trying our best. Obviously DTT's turning back now after obviously helping us out. The BB1 is coming in, and this is where the Key 27 is going to put some good shots on target. He smacks my left engine, smacks my right engine. Well, I should say the oil system more like. But I'm taking hits and this thing's still fighting. This thing is tough. I find it is tough against lower caliber rounds. Haven't been hit by cannon rounds yet, though, so I don't actually know. But BB1 comes in, murders that Key 27, and that is the end of the dogfight. We put in chat thanks and everything, and I put, well, DTT puts thanks, man. I put legend BB1 because we probably wouldn't have survived that. We probably would have not been able to get away from that Key 27. I did get an assist on him because obviously I scored quite a few hits with my rear gunner, but otherwise me and DTT decide to return to base, which was the right thing. However, sadly, DTT's not going to survive this game. And Fort Sparta put a joke in chat saying, my airfield mechanic must dread when I get into a plane. But yeah, mate, to be honest, you took a drilling. He got swarmed by all three of them at one point. And there was nothing poor Sparta could do. But obviously DTT barely landed because the landing gear didn't come down quick enough. But at this point, obviously me and DTT decide, should we take off? Or should we J out and just go to the next one? Spade is singing 5 flights. But we decided to roll. And well, DTT's sadly not going to get all that much out of it. He's going to get an assist. So obviously we're watching around us and we didn't actually know at the time that this 109E1 was tracking us. We didn't notice at the time. And quite clearly, he likes DTT more, because he goes for DTT. At this point though, obviously DTT's just flying normally. And I'm just flying normally, and he's saying like, I'm getting shot at. He'll say, around about this point, he starts saying, I'm getting shot at. I look to my right, and sure enough, there's a 109E1. DTT gets on the tail gunner, blazes away at the 109, but the 109 rips him to bits. And well, DTT is not going to survive. He manages to get his bombs off, get a couple of more ground targets, but DTT responds with his front guns, gets some more hits, but DTT knew his time was up, so he bravely decided to send his crew on a one-way mission, I should say. He drops his bombs. His plane goes down. But he got a couple of ground targets out of that. And I said to DTT, mate, I'm closing on this guy. Obviously, his engine's out. This 191 is not escaping from me. And I said, I'm closing, I'm closing. So now it's down to me and 2 Catalinas. Obviously, I'm keeping up with this guy. Obviously, the 191's engine is gone. He probably is going to make it back to base, so I didn't want to break off and leave him. And a 20mm smacks him hard. Obviously, bits fly off the thing, more oil, and a 20mm round goes in the cockpit. My only ever air kill in this aircraft. And the last kill I got. Man, I forgot a couple of ground targets, but that's really it. Let's go turn the light on, it's getting a bit dark in the man cave. But, yeah, so... bits fell off, obviously. That's when Sparta was, obviously Sparta's obviously dead at this point and everything. DTT's obviously gone in. You got a couple of ground targets and everything. But that noise then was a bug. It's been happening a lot recently in replays I've noticed, but even so. So obviously, I'm coming in at this point. I'm ready to drop 6 bombs. So then I can kill the last 2 bases with my 1 bomb, because it only takes 1 to finish off those bases. And I got, I believe it was just the 1, yeah, just the 1 armoured car. But I'll skip ahead to the end, where obviously I killed an armoured car with my guns. I've got a howitzer with my guns. Like I said, the guns work great in ground attack. I do have to say that. The guns do work great in ground attack. But, like I say, that is really where this plane... Well, this is really what the plane shines at, in my opinion. Base bombing. So, like I said, this plane is not the greatest. I'm going to say that right now. It didn't take long to spade it at all. It was fine for about 30 to 40 minutes, to be honest. It didn't take long at all. But it's just the fact that this aircraft has significant weaknesses as opposed to a normal aircraft of this battle rating. And, well, if hairy feet, mate, if you get an ace out of this thing, I'm literally just going to find you and take over your channel, because I swear, man, there's no way you're getting an ace out of this thing. Unless you kiss Gaijin's ass. But anyway, like I say, I'd recommend this thing as a high-speed base bomber like what me and DTT did. It can do that. Obviously, you'll need 2. So you need a mate and all that to do it with. But that seems to be what this thing's best at. Or one of the things that it's good at, I should say. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one.